Reddit asks, pizza delivery drivers of Reddit, what was the most fucked up place you've ever stopped at? I drove to the customer's house and saw that a guy was being handcuffed by the police in the front yard. I had no idea what to do, so I drove around a neighboring block a few times. When I came back, the police and handcuffed guy were gone. I didn't know if he was the customer or not, so I just walked up to the door and knocked. An old couple answered and took the pizza and paid and didn't say anything about the arrest that happened on their lawn. It was in a city with extremely low crime rate as well, so it was very strange to 17-year-old me. Every hoarder house I ever delivered to. Honestly, I feel for those folks. There's usually a mental issue that starts it. Sometimes it's just learned behavior, either way it's still just sad to me. How many different hoarders' houses have you delivered to? What was it like? I didn't end up delivering the pizza, but the address was an abandoned house. It was around dusk and the house was so obviously uninhabited. I could see trees growing through the windows and the backside of the house was crumbling so badly I could see to the backyard, from the street. The instructions were to come around back. I double-checked the address after locking my doors, called the customer a couple of times, called the store and told them what was up and why I wasn't delivering the pizza, and headed out. I mean, seriously, who would have been dumb enough to go to the back of that house? Someone ordered pizzas to a funeral. There were a ton of people there, all somber and dressed in black, while I rolled up in my bright red greasy t-shirt. LOL. Definitely one of the most awkward experiences I've had. Grandma always loved Domino's. RIP. Rest in pizza. Rest in pepperoni, silly person. Ripperoni. Ripperoni, Ripperoni, give me the formula. I once delivered to a guy living under his porch, if that counts. I drove up to the house. It's pitch black. No lights on. I look at the ticket and it says use back door. I go up the steps and no lights on. Nothing. Then I hear a voice from below me say, "Hey, down here." I look under the porch and there's a small door leading into what looked like a makeshift apartment. I had to actually crouch to get to it. Gave the guy the pizza and bounced the fudge out of there. This reminds me of a delivery I took once. In the special instructions on the receipt it said, "Watch out for Mexicans under the porch." There were no Mexicans, there wasn't even a porch. The one where they tried to pull me in the house. Not coincidentally the last delivery I ever made. Are you dead now? Yeah man. She's sorry to hear that. I hope those guys who murdered you in that death trap house get caught. Me too. My ghost is only able to haunt Reddit. I'm a little high and now I'm going down the what if he actually is telling the truth road, so thank you. Asterisk she. My B. I delivered to a drug house a few times. It was always obvious that these guys were selling/using, but it never bothered me as they usually tipped well. This one time I got there, rang the bell, and a baggie of, I'm guessing coke or heroin, I have no idea, slipped under the door. Not sure what to do, I decided to kick it back under the door and leave. Not super fudged up, but I think about it a lot. I worked as a delivery driver for a very small Italian restaurant/pizzeria during my first semester of college. This one time I delivered pizza to a swingers party. It wasn't like on the set of a porno or anything, he straight up told me when I was like having a party. Because he ordered 12 pizzas. He answered that this was his first swingers party and he just wanted to be sure everyone was having a good time. This is actually wholesome. /wholesome/. Nice. I delivered subs, but one of our regular clients was an old lady in a nursing home who thought it was 1940s or something. She was super nice, but nobody would deliver to her because she would only tip you like 25 cents because again, she was living way in the past. But I loved to sit and talk with her, so I always volunteered to do it. Sometimes the nurses would pay the tip if they saw me, but usually I only got a quarter. Her delusional state was heartbreaking, She was completely lucid aside from not realizing what year it was. Used to deliver part-time in a not-so-nice part of town. Used to do a regular delivery to an adult bookstore. My 18-year-old mind was blown the first time I went in, saw all the sex toys shiz hanging on the walls. Another time I delivered to a room at a hot sheet motel. Dude opened the door while he was counting out the money. I saw a naked hooker sit up in the bed behind him. According to Pornhub, you join them. I deliver you a pizza and do not put my wiener in it. I had a delivery to a normal address, but 2 blocks away from it a guy on a bike flagged me down, asked if I was a delivery guy and said it was for him. He gave me his phone number and it was his order. We don't have those signs on the top of our car, and I was in a busy suburb, so I have no clue how he knew it was me. In truth, he had flagged down many other drivers before receiving the pizza. A whorehouse. Lady who received the pizza was masturbating at the same time. A church. $834 order I delivered solo in the rain. Humped all those pizzas for a good 30 minutes back and forth from my truck to the altar, got soaking wet, all for no tip. $834 and no tip? What, was the Lord supposed to pay you in blessings? Damn, I'm sorry. It was one of the reasons I quit. Funny though, a few months later Hurricane Harvey destroyed it. God decided enough was enough and that the 11th commandment would be to always tip thy pizza guy. I delivered pizza in a slum during high school. There was a lot of fudged up shiz, but the ones that really bothered me were delivering to junkies that had multiple young children just living in filth. There was one particular junkie who was always barely conscious and had like 4 kids living in squalor and eating probably nothing but pizza and soda every day. Also, these junkies always had some shizhead enabler, usually their parents, ordering the food for them, so it was 50-50ths on whether or no they even answered the door or were otherwise aware of the delivery coming. The guy at the door slowly opens it, armed with a rifle. I asked him if he had ordered pizza, and his reply was like, "Oh yeah, I just wasn't sure that it was you." Between pizza, social work, soldier, census, government field data investigator. I've seen some shiz. Most of the pizza stuff is just people without pants, or really intoxicated and stuff, but that stuff just turns into same shiz different day. Not pizza but kebab. Last summer, random summer job to help paying bills at home. I don't work there anymore. I delivered to a house. They were selling drugs on the back window of, not weed, heavy drugs. They tipped me 5 on a 15 order, gave me a 20, told me to just keep the change. Doubt he even knew how much the order was, so I decided to pretend I hadn't seen anything and just drove to the next place. Guy who paid me looked like he was quite hot. "Wait, did you say kebab delivery?" He did. Lots of places deliver kebabs. I'd dare say more popular than pizza in the UK. I don't even know where to begin, tbh. My all-time most weirdest fave delivery though that I can think of right now, was finding a regular who was drunk late night playing golf on a golf course. X200B. Dude always tipped like a boss, so I had no problem playing the game with him. Wasn't hard to find, he was the only guy there and was loud as a tank. I could understand how some other people might not have been as keen, as it was a dark out of the way place. X200B. I swear gems like these guys exist all over the place. I'm sure he had his reasons for playing at night. Visibility would be poor, no? There was a guy who would order every Saturday during the day and try to fight me. I'd knock and it would be completely silent, with no indication anyone even lived there. But the second I knocked again, whether it was 30 seconds or several minutes, he'd rip the door open and jump up in my face screaming. I fucking said, "Just a minute, what the fuck is wrong with you? Do you want a piece of me? I will fuck you up." That's when you don't say shiz, take the pizza, turn around and get in your car. If you can't treat someone with a sliver decency, then you don't deserve to be served. I was tipped in acid once. As in LSD, Nobody attacked me with acid. One lady always tried to get me to take out her trash or her mail, she was a regular too and never tipped. One old fat dude answered the door without a shirt and was super nonchalant about it. My first day some guy asked if I wanted to rip his bong. There's another lady who is a regular and I refer to her as the mustache of doom. It's a fun job though. Did you drop the acid? How was the trip? No, I sold it to a coworker. Nice. I wasn't delivering pizza. It was fancy pastries, to a mansion in Benedict Canyon, at the crack of dawn. There were a bunch of drunk, naked, middle-aged women. They didn't tip. Sounds right if you mean LA.